Partnering with a group purchasing organization or GPO has become a best practice in procurement for businesses of all sizes. And OMNIA Partners is leading innovation in the GPO landscape for the private sector.
The GPO model is really gaining adoption, and when I say that a company is a little more sophisticated or advanced, they're thinking differently in how they leverage their supply chain. Instead of a do-it-yourself mentality where it's very difficult to try to get all of the sourcing and the operations in a supply chain managed efficiently by themselves, they leverage the GPO to help them drive more efficiencies, get more spend under management, and ultimately have a better experience with their supply partner.
If you have at your disposal an asset to implement because you've got a pre-vetted agreement from a trusted partner, you've got something that's been benchmarked and proven to be a world-class agreement, take your resources and move them on and accomplish twice as much. You can plug in an existing agreement here and put your resources on the next category. You've accomplished twice as much in the same amount of time with the same amount of resources.
So when you think about the supply chain in an organization, there are hundreds and hundreds of categories that they could attack. They don't usually have the bandwidth to go ahead and do an effective job in sourcing and managing those categories. So a lot of companies have turned to the group purchasing model. And the group purchasing model is very unique in the sense that it helps you bypass hours, in some cases hundreds of hours, of sourcing time to get a result that would not even be close to what we can deliver in a much smaller and tighter window. And ultimately, the savings is really just the beginning of the relationship.
OMNIA Partners is the largest, fastest growing, and most experienced GPO in the nation, empowering private sector procurement.
Some of the largest companies in the world rely on OMNIA Partners to be an extension of their team, really to help them identify ways to drive savings, find new categories, deliver functional relevance across their organization, and ultimately have a better experience with their supply partner.
Most people think GPO, cost savings, but we're doing so much more. We're standing side by side with our private sector members to help them and our suppliers save money in the private sector, but also be able to drive savings throughout the organization. And we're really looked at from a procurement standpoint as an extension of the procurement team.
So the beauty of our model really is driven by the fact that we continue to evolve and add new power and leverage to the group. Every year we're adding large clients, small clients, that ultimately bring their value and their contribution to the group, which allows us then to take that leverage and go out to the market and find not only new solutions, but we can continue to refine our existing programs so that second generation value really does take shape.
Often in an enterprise business, procurement will execute an RFP or bid for their spend needs, participate in the entire sourcing process, and move on to their next sourcing activity. Establishing an ongoing supplier management process can be difficult, and over the course of that contract term, the entity could see diminishing returns and increased administrative costs.
What separates us out in the space is the idea that we don't stop once a contract's been adopted. We really are here through our team and the sales organization and really through the rest of the organization that supports the commercial efforts. We're out there helping that member recognize new ideas, new solutions, helping them gain adoption to new contracts within their organizations to drive second generation savings. And really that model of higher touch, higher engagement is what separates OMNIA Partners from anybody else in the space.
With that leveraged agreement that stands alone, that's where we want to make sure that we also maintain the flexibility for individual members to customize the agreement to still meet their specific needs of their business and their location. And the result is a world-class agreement for scope, for terms, for total cost of ownership, and something that people can implement with speed and with confidence.
And it is amazing all the touch points that we have throughout an organization and where we could help them save money throughout that supply chain. And it is a very unique proposition that we bring to the table. But we're there to sit and place areas in cost reduction or improvements or solutions where our members need them. And I think that is a key piece to OMNIA Partners.
One of the key value points of OMNIA Partners is our ability to bring a community of members, prospective members, and supply partners together to really foster innovation, share new ideas, and really look to advance the cause of our continued partnership. But ultimately, our members and our supplier partners look to us to be a catalyst for really good innovation and ideas. And that's what separates OMNIA Partners from anybody else in the space. OMNIA Partners, power,
Access.
And trust.